Today on Cookin' by the Book, we're making red quinoa salad in Frico Cups from TeaTime Magazine's cookbook, Tea and Savories Delightful TeaTime Treats. Hi, I'm Bernadette Catherine, and I'm a country singer who really has no business starting a cooking show, but I do love making food for people, and I have a giant collection of cookbooks, which if you look right over there, that's just a small portion of it. So let's get cooking by the book. The recipe in this cookbook makes a small side dish, but you can easily scale it up to make it a main course for either lunch or dinner. So today we're going to make both the original recipe and I'll also show you how to scale it up to turn it into its own meal. I love making this whenever someone comes over to the house because it's relatively easy to make. You should be able to find all of the ingredients at your local grocery store, and it's a guaranteed showstopper. What you'll need to make this springtime lunch are red quinoa, dates, chopped roasted pistachios, shredded carrots, green onion but only the green parts, extra virgin olive oil, sherry vinegar, lemon juice, either fresh or prepackaged, I chose prepackaged, Dijon mustard, shallots, honey, sea salt, ground black pepper, cilantro, and also, let's not forget the arugula leaves and the Parmesan cheese. Oh, and we'll also need a sieve, a medium-sized pot, a food processor, and either a muffin tray or a cereal bowl. First, let's make the Honey-Sherry Vinaigrette. In a plastic jar with a screw-top lid, add a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, a 1/4 cup of sherry vinegar, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of chopped shallot, 1 tablespoon of honey, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Then screw the lid tightly closed and then shake it like nobody's watching until everything is emulsified or blended together. Set it aside at room temperature for 30 minutes. The book says that letting it rest allows the flavors to better develop. Next, let's make the Parmesan Frico Cups. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and line a baking sheet with parchment paper. To make the Frico Cups for the side dish, sprinkle the cheese into 3.5 to 4-inch circles onto the baking sheet and bake for 5 to 8 minutes until the cheese melts and the edges turn golden brown. After we take them out of the oven, we can use a metal spatula to quickly remove the cheese from the baking sheets and drape them over the cups of an inverted muffin pan and let them cool. Make sure to move fast because the cheese cools quickly, and once it's cool, the cheese hardens. Now, if you want to make the Frico Cups for the main course, we're going to follow the same steps, only this time we're going to sprinkle the cheese into 6-inch circles on the baking sheet and bake for 5 to 8 minutes until the cheese melts and the edges turn golden brown. After we take them out of the oven, we can use a metal spatula to quickly remove the cheese from the baking sheet and drape them over the inverted cereal bowls and let them cool. Next, let's make the salad. To make perfectly fluffy quinoa, we need to start by washing it. So, put a 1/2 cup of red quinoa into a mesh sieve and run it under cold water until the water underneath turns clear. Then we can transfer that and 1 cup of water into the pot and turn the heat up to medium-high. As the quinoa cooks, it'll absorb the water and give us roughly 2 cups of cooked quinoa, which is what the recipe calls for. Once the mixture starts boiling, we can turn it down to medium-low heat and cover the pot with the lid. Let it simmer for 10 minutes untouched. Once the 10 minutes are up, give it a little stir and check to see if all the water has been absorbed. If not, let it sit for another 5 minutes and it should be ready. Once the quinoa is ready, we can transfer it to a medium to large mixing bowl and set it aside to cool. Next, we'll place 1/2 cup of pitted dates, a 1/3 cup of roasted pistachios, a 1/4 cup of shredded carrots, 2 tablespoons of green onions, and 2 tablespoons of cilantro into the food processor. Then close the lid, ensuring everything is covered, and pulse until the ingredients are finely chopped. If it makes a paste, you've gone too far. Now, we can add the mixture to the quinoa and stir to combine. Slowly add the Honey-Sherry Vinaigrette to the salad and stir until it sticks together and keeps its shape when scooped out. It's okay if you have leftover vinaigrette, you can always pour the rest into a pitcher and put it on the table for others to enjoy. All that's left to do now is put it all together. Lay the arugula leaves in the bottom of your Frico cups and then scoop the salad onto the leaves. It's as easy as that. And now, you're ready to serve.
Let's try it. It's really good. You know, the dates and the carrots give it a slightly sweet taste. Yeah, the Honey-Sherry Vinaigrette gives a very bright flavor. It's really good. It's a little tangy too. Ooh, let's try this one. Yeah, the pistachio, quinoa, and the Parmesan give it a very nutty flavor and a slightly chewy texture. You know, the flavors work really well together. They blend very well. And, I mean, nothing really overpowers anything else in this dish. It's really good. One of the things that I really like about Tea and Savories Delightful TeaTime Treats by TeaTime Magazine is how short and simple the recipes inside are, but they look like they were made at a really fancy restaurant. I mean, come on. What we just made today looks so great and it tastes amazing. And the recipes inside this book is for anyone who wants to entertain friends or wants to have a tea party or, you know, just wants to have a nice meal either by themselves or with the people that they love. So make sure you check it out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in my kitchen for the first episode of Cookin' by the Book. I had a lot of fun making the salad, and I hope you had just as much fun following along. So if you're interested in trying this recipe out, you can find the ingredients and the directions in the description below with a link to the cookbook, Tea and Savories Delightful TeaTime Treats by TeaTime Magazine. Oh, and before I forget, if you've ever had your eye on a cookbook and aren't sure whether to buy it because you don't know how the recipes are inside, or if you just want to recommend your favorite cookbook so I can try a recipe from it, comment what it is down below. Oh, also, if you've tried the Red Quinoa Salad, please let me know how you thought, what you thought of it in the comments below. I love hearing from you. Oh, and if you remember, I am a rock and country singer. So if you are interested in checking out my music, you can find that on my channel, my originals, some covers, so much fun stuff. I just love hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much. Bye. See you soon.